thank you everybody for joining us today. We are down at the Veterans of Foreign Wars Hall, and I'm joined with members of both the folks who are in the American Legion, the VFW, as well as a number of our seniors, including our Americans who are currently both working through Medicare, our recipients of Social Security that they've earned, our veterans, as well as our active duty service members. And we're here to talk today about the debt ceiling that is coming up as early as this June. So let's set the table. Secretary Janet Yellen, the Secretary of the Treasury, has highlighted the fact that we potentially are going to be coming in as soon as June 1st. So what does this mean? Well, let's put it in terms of Iowans. If Iowans had $31,000 on their credit card, they could do a number of things. They could work hard to pay that down. They could look at their spending and find ways that they could cut back so they don't end with this massive amount on their credit card. Or they could go back to their bank and they could plead for an extension so they could spend even more money and have that debt limit continue to increase. Well, here in Iowa, that's not the way we do business. The reality is, Washington, D.C. is asking for the exact same thing. The ability to continue to max out the credit card, but not to the tune of $31,000, more than $31 trillion. And that's an expense that's going to cost all of us a lot more down the road. So here's what we know. Two things are clear to me. First, we can't just refuse to pay down on the obligations that we as Americans have made a commitment to. So we will be paying that as we go forward. Two, we need to put in place reforms to get our federal spending under control and live within our means. Just the same way we do here in the state of Iowa, just the same way that every farmer does, just the same way that each of you watching at home do in your own family around your own kitchen table. So this is why I'm introducing legislation that would do four things. Protect our Social Security, protect Medicaid, protect our veterans, and ensure that our active duty military members continue to receive their pay. No matter what happens in Washington, these are payments we will continue to provide because it's the right thing to do for America, and it's something that these individuals have earned, and we as Americans will follow through on that obligation. Equally, this bill, a bipartisan bill with my colleague from North Carolina, will be called the Protecting Americans Benefit Act. Now, not only is it bipartisan, but it's something that enshrines the ability for us to protect those who have earned what they should receive. And let me tell you what this means here in Iowa. We would be able to protect the thousands who depend on their benefits. 6,500 active duty military members from Iowa receiving nearly $75 million in pay. They would be protected no matter what happens with the debt ceiling. 664,000 Iowans who are on Medicare today would continue to receive their benefits. 668,000 Iowans on Social Security would be preserved and made whole. 46,000 disabled veterans here in Iowa would be ensured that they would get the medical care that they have earned, deserve, and can be provided. And 3,700 military spouses whose benefits are contingent on us paying our bills. Because here's the bottom line. I believe the American people have had enough of politicians playing politics in Washington, D.C. Republicans or Democrats, when we use these individuals as political leverage to get our own partisan bills through, we're not doing a service to Iowans or Americans. Those are scare tactics, and they're threatening their livelihood for a political outcome. I will not tolerate that. We will fight against that, and we will protect these individuals. Friends, I will continue to be a champion for Iowa's retirees who rely on Medicare. A champion for seniors who have earned their Social Security. A champion for military men and women like myself who have served in combat and are continuing on the front lines. And for our veterans who many have already made the ultimate sacrifice in their spouses or those who are continuing to serve today in their capacity. We will not allow these people to be used as a political pawn. We will have their backs, as I have done repeatedly in our service in Washington. And as Iowa's retirees, military veterans, Social Security recipients, and spouses should know that they can count on us because together we will work together for them. So with that, I look forward to the President coming to the negotiating table with House Republicans and the Senate to have a meaningful conversation on protecting those who have served, those who have earned, and those who have a right to receive their benefits, while also getting this federal credit card under control so that we don't leverage their future that they paid into today to be able to take away from it 10 years later because we can't get it figured out now. This is the time for action, and we're prepared to act.